Hello, I'm Philip Stoughton. I am at Apex 2025 on the Koyang booth, and I am joined by Xaver from Zollner. Pleasure to see you again. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
I saw you yesterday briefly as you came out of the EMS Leadership Summit. Your relationship with IPC seems to just get better and better. A couple of pieces of news on that. You got a President's Award today. Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you.
Marcus has also been appointed to the board.
Yeah.
It feels like there's a really good partnership developing there.
Absolutely, yeah. We started a couple of years ago with the first meeting together with Sanjay and John, talking about the EMS industry in Europe and the role of the EMS industry. And from one day to another, the IPC founded the EMS Executive Meeting for Europe. And this was the start of something really good and big, where we now are really deep into the advocacy work as well with Brussels and the European Union. And this is where we keep on fighting to get a face for the electronics industry in Europe. Beside the PCB and all the other microelectronics ecosystems.
Yeah, I think it's really important. I guess that's what your President's Award was for the work that you do in Brussels, I imagine.
Yes.
Yeah, I think well deserved, and what you've been doing there with Thomas from Ilfa, I think has proved indispensable. Where are we at the moment with the market in Europe? Last time I spoke with Marcus, we were in Munich. It just seems like so much has happened since November. The President Trump's taken office. He's been pulling and pushing tariff levers very rapidly. We've had the German election. We've had raising of debt ceilings for expenditure, particularly on defence. A lot has changed. What do those things mean to Zollner and to the European EM industry more broadly?
Well, actually, when we look into Europe, we still see weak business situation, but stable. That's the good thing. We still hope to see some relaxation in the business by end of the year, but it's still very uncertain, and we can't see clear picture when we look into the industries. Automotive is still challenging. Industrial depends on which area, and medical is more or less stable. But overall, we are still in tough waters at the moment, and we have to really dig into niches and specific markets where we think these are growth areas. In specific, defense is something what is still growing. But at the end, we have to see how the big industries come back into our business.
Yeah, it's taking time, isn't it? And I think typically in Europe it was kind of 13 to 15% off last year. That seems to have been the norm. Do you see this year as fairly flat from there? Do you see more decline, or do you see a small improvement?
We see it flat. For us, we planned accordingly, but we also don't see any significant growth. So we stay conservative. If it's getting better, then it's good. We are lucky as we are family-owned and family-driven. So we really go on site. We really focus on the strategy, not only for Europe, also for the other regions. And this is where we use the time best to really settle, get new structures, and focus on our key industries. Yeah,
and you've had growth plans in place for some time, so you do have some site developments and some other projects going on. You have something in Thailand. You also have the second plant in Costa Rica being built. Those things push forward.
Yeah, we still push forward with our growth plans. We also have construction activities in Germany. So we enhance our mechanical manufacturing in Germany with quite a big new facility. We grow in Costa Rica with additional floor space down there. We recently just opened our new site in Salem at the East Coast. So we really prepare to have enough capacities to consistently support our customers in the regions, because that's the effect that we see with the geopolitical activities, that markets shift from one location to another and vice versa, so every direction is actually in action.
And we're in a global industry. I thought it was interesting yesterday when I stuck my head in for the leadership summit to see European companies there, not just yourself. Otto was there from INCAP, and many companies do have partners here or do have businesses here. Are you seeing those events, even though they're regional, have a much more global participation?
I think so, yeah, because we have at least look into the local markets, because there is actually no clear picture overall. I would say that the European market is not as strong as the US market.
At the moment, yeah.
By the way, the key takeaway for me yesterday was the mood and the mindset is still much more optimistic here in the US as it is actually in Europe. So I learned we really also have to stay optimistic in that way, because there is still no big reason to really be so depressive on that. And same thing for Asia. I think we need a global base to really exchange the challenges. The major challenges are the same for us as EMS providers. It's digitization, is skilled workforce,
talent,
and its growth overall.
Yeah.
And the good thing is, in the midterm perspective, we follow the mega trend of electrification.
Yeah.
The IPC calls it the electrical supercycle, and we're still in. We just take a breath from my perspective, but in the mid and long term, there still will be much growth in all of the industries.
Yeah, I think that underlying trend remains strong, and there's lots of things driving it. AI, I think, is a really interesting driver, because it's not just the data centers, it's everything that supports that in terms of energy and infrastructure, and there's a huge demand there, and one hopes some of that will be more sustainable energy sources as well. So I think there are opportunities there. I think you're celebrating 60 years this year?
60 years, yeah.
I think what's important is to remember what made you successful in those first 10 and every 10 years since, and it's that extreme customer focused, it's that real enthusiasm for quality and for good engineering, and that's kind of been part of your DNA for many years and will carry you forward, I'm sure.
Yeah, and we keep that.
Yeah, I think that's hugely important. Culture beats everything, and you have a great culture. So.
Right.
Thanks so much for talking to me. I look forward to the next time we chat, and hopefully the market in Europe will have picked up, and hopefully we'll have some clarity on what tariffs look like and what the ongoing situation is.
We hope so.
Absolutely. Thanks so much
Thank you,
for your
Phil.
time.